Hello and welcome to MidnightSilverCrafters.com. My name's Steve and I'll be your host. Today, in this video, we're going to talk about 10 Harbor Freight jewelry tools that you absolutely must have. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I would just like to let you know what I do here on this channel. This channel is all about jewelry making, silversmithing, and lost wax casting. That's what I do on the channel here. And right here, you see there's some jewelry that I made just this past couple days. And what we got going down there on the table, on the bench, is some rings and pendants I've made and different pieces of jewelry I've made. And there's a casting that I've made in the back there. But I'd just like to say that if you're interested in any of this stuff, if you want to learn any of this stuff, this is what I teach on the channel, and it'd be great to have you as a subscriber. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. But if you would do me one big favor, if you could do me a great big favor, if you subscribe, if you could just write me a message in the comment section and just write down there, I subscribed. If you could do that for me, that would be great. I'd really appreciate that. And that would really help me out a lot with the channel. So let's get started talking about these tools. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is this flex shaft. Now, this flex shaft, I got this from Harbor Freight. Now, I got lucky when I got mine, and I got an open box, and I got a good deal on mine. I think I paid about 50 bucks for 49 bucks for the whole thing. It was an open box, but here it is. Now this thing's got like a regular chuck like this, like a regular drill chuck. It's like a Jacob's chuck. It's a small chuck. It's an 1/8 inch chuck. And but that's what it takes, an 1/8 inch chuck. But this thing is really great, and it's really powerful. Let me just show you up here what it looks like. Okay, I got it right up there. Okay, now there it is. Okay, now that's the motor right there. Now this thing is really powerful. I mean, it's extremely powerful. So you wanna get you one of these. Boy, you can't beat it. It's a real workhorse. All right, now number 2 is this vise. Now this little vise right here is just an amazing vise. I'm telling you. You cannot beat this vise for making jewelry. It's got rubber pads on the jaws. Okay, it's got rubber pads on the jaws, but the cool thing about this vise, look at that. That thing will swivel. I can lay it horizontal. I can make it vertical. I can swivel this on any angle, and it locks. And see, you turn this where you want it. And then you can clamp your rings and stuff. You can clamp your whatever you're working on right in there. This vise is just unbelievable, and it's almost really it's dirt cheap. I mean, I think I paid like $13 or something for this vise. So you really want to get one of these. You can't beat it. Okay, and one more feature I want to show you about the vise is it's got this. See, this is you just put that down and you just flip that down, and that thing is solid as a damn rock, and it ain't going nowhere. So you want to pick up one of these for about 15 bucks. You cannot beat this. Alright, next thing up on the list we got is files. Okay, now these files, they have these little needle files, and they got 2 types. They got the diamond ones. These ones here have the diamond grit,
But these come in packs of about, I think there's like 12 in a pack, okay? And you got your diamond grit ones. And then they also have another type with see, a little bit of a different handle on these ones. It's the black handled ones are the diamond files. But these other lighter color handles like this, these little ones, they're just straight steel files. But I'll tell you what, for the money, you cannot beat these little files. I love these little diamond files. Boy, these things are just great. And you wouldn't believe how long they last. I mean, these files last a long, long time. You got those, and then you got other files too that they got, you know, all kinds of just different files that are real good. But while I'm talking about these files, I want to just show you one thing here real quick, and I just want to take a second on this one, and this will just be a second. But we got those files. But what I wanted to show you was this. Okay, now these are the new bench pins that I got that are coming out, and I'm gonna have these up real soon on my website. So you can look for these bench pins. Now this bench pin is it goes along with the files. That's why I'm showing it to you now, because it's just like my original bench pin design, which is right over here. Mine, you can see mine's well used and full of holes and everything else. But that was my original bench pin design, and this was the new bench pin that I make these bench pins. I designed this. It's specifically, you know, to be a good bench pin, and it's made out of solid oak, and it's real durable. But this bench pin, I'm selling this bench pin and 2 sets of those little needle files, the diamond ones and the steel ones. Okay, and it's going to have holes in it, just like this one over here, where you can put all your different, you know, things in it. But it's real nice. It's got a little round dish out right here. This is real nice for putting your little stones and your small parts and everything. But look for this bench pin on my website. It'll be up real soon. I'll be putting these up, and it's going to be $35. And it's solid oak, and it's going to come with 2 sets of files. Okay, so you can look for that. I'll be putting that up on my website, midnightsilvercrafters.com. All right, now the next thing that we're going to talk about is hammers. Okay, now they've got some hammers. Okay, now here's 2 little hammers. Here's 2 little hammers I got, and these things are really handy. I mean, these things are dirt cheap. They're like, I think they're like $5 or something. They're unbelievable cheap. But see, these got little heads on them. They screw off. But I'll tell you, for jewelry making, you can't beat these little hammers. I use these little hammers all the time, and they are just great. Okay, but I got these 2 little hammers. Okay, and then this one here has got it's plastic tip, and it's got a rubber tip, which is really nice and stuff. They're just really handy little hammers. Now there is another like a little heavier plastic hammer that they sell, and it's really good. I don't have it sitting here, but it's an orange plastic hammer, and it's real good for jewelry making. But while I'm talking about hammers, right here, I just want to show you this. This is a rawhide mallet. Now I am working on some rawhide mallets, okay, and I'll be having them as well. And they're going to be really good mallets. They're going to be really affordable. So look for the mallets on my website as well. So yeah, I'll be putting these up. So look for these mallets. But these little hammers at Harbor Freight, you can't beat it. Okay. All right, now the next thing I'm going to talk about is right up here. I got, oh, just about tripped. I got two things right here. I got a strip. I got a magnetic strip right here, and these are great, okay? But they're, you know, these magnetic strips will hold all your stuff. So when you're at Harbor Freight, go ahead and pick up one of these. But the next one on the list are these tweezers. Now you can see, let me pull them down for you and show you. There's a lot of tweezers here, okay? Now all these tweezers, okay, all these tweezers right here, they come in a pack, okay? And they come in a pack, and they're about $10 for the whole pack. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot of tweezers. So you wanna pick up a pack of these tweezers, okay? Okay, next up on the list, you go and you get, this is called Helping Hands, okay? And when you buy this, it has a couple arms on it, and it's got some alligator clips on it. Well, you get this thing and you take it apart and you take it down to this one joint right here. You see there's one joint right here, and you leave that one joint, okay, it's got like a thumb screw on it, and you take the rest off, you're not going to need it, and you take your cross-lock tweezers, which comes in that pack of tweezers, and you hook your cross-lock tweezers onto this joint, and there you go. Now look at that, see? That's your cross-lock tweezers for doing all your soldering work. You just clamp your jewelry right here on the end of this, and you can solder, and look, it'll rotate in every angle. Now you're going to have to put a little bit of weight on the end of it, on the bottom, because it's a little bit light, so get you a little weight. I just got like a piece of fire brick here, and I just taped it on. But you definitely want to get one of these. I use this every day. Alright, next up on the list, we got our measuring tools. Now they sell these calipers, these digital calipers. Now this thing is what you need to get, because when you work in jewelry, you know that you always work in millimeters. But these calipers are great for measuring your stones, for measuring your sheet metal and the thickness of your metal and everything. Now these digital ones, I think they're about 15 bucks. They're well worth the money. It's got a little battery. But now look for a big pack, and you'll see this big pack. It's got this divider. It's got a pair of dividers. Now these dividers are not too bad. Okay, I use these dividers. I use all these tools every day. But look for this big pack, and it's got dividers, and it's got a little steel measuring ruler like this right here in it. Okay, and then it's also got, you know, it's got a pair of calipers here, which, you know, these calipers they're not as accurate, I don't think. Alright, now, next up we got some torches. Alright, now, they got this little torch right here, little micro torch. Now, these things are just really handy to have, okay? Now, you can solder a little bit with this torch, but I use it for a lot of other things. I don't really use this for soldering because I don't think it's quite enough heat. It is for some really, really light, small stuff, but overall, this is not enough heat for soldering, but it's great. I mean, I do use it a little bit for soldering, but that's a really good, and it's cheap. You know, I think this thing's like 10 bucks, but you know, you're going to want to get a can of this, this butane too. I believe they still sell the butane at Harbor Freight. Okay, but now here's another torch, this right here. Okay, now, let me show you this one. This is, you can't beat it. Now this, it's called a welder. It's just a blowtorch. It's a propane torch. That bottle right there, it was an oxygen bottle, but I put propane in it. But this is a propane torch, but it's really great. And this is what I use to solder with. Okay, I do all my soldering with this torch. So, and you can't beat it for soldering jewelry. It works great for soldering jewelry. And you can use it for a lot of other stuff too. So pick you up a couple torches. That one there, they call it a welder. I don't know why they call it a welder, but then they got this little torch. So, but these two torches are really great for making jewelry. You wanna get those. All right, next up we got on the list, now this right here is a metal shear. Now I'm going to tell you, this metal shear is the greatest. You cannot beat this metal shear, and it works like a dream. Now this metal shear is 160 bucks. And now that might sound like a lot of money, but you buy a metal shear and from any of these companies, these jewelry companies, Rio Grande or any of these big jewelry companies, you're going to pay $500 or more for a metal shear. Well, you don't need to pay $500 for a metal shear because this thing is sweet. And this is a tool I use all these tools almost every day, but this tool, I use this tool all the time. And as soon as you got extra, it's a little more expensive than the rest of the tools I covered. But as soon as you got 160 bucks, go and get you one of these. All right, last up on the list, the belt sander, the 1-inch belt sander. Now this tool right here, I've had this over 2 years and it runs just like it did the day I bought it. And they sell these belts and they're cheap. But let me tell you what, this tool right here will save you hours and hours and hours and hours of filing. Because when you make a bezel or something like that, say like this little pendant I made right here. Now this bezel, I can just take this bezel. This is a casting, this bezel, okay? But I can just take this bezel and just run that right around there in a matter of a minute, less than a minute, and this bezel is ready. And I throw it on the flat lap, get a good flat back on it, and I'm done. Get you one of these belt sanders. You'll be glad you did. All right, that's going to wrap it up on the tools. So I really do appreciate you stopping by the channel today. And if you're interested in making jewelry or learning lost wax casting, because I do a lot of casting. You can see right here's a tree I just made this casting right here. I got like what, 8 parts on there, but I do casting and that's what I teach on this channel. I teach lost wax casting, and I got a lot of real simple, easy to use methods, and everything I do on the cheap. I don't do nothing expensive here. In fact, I got a whole complete setup for lost wax casting that you can build and you can make homemade equipment for under 300 bucks. You can get started in lost wax casting. I got a bunch of videos on all the equipment, and each piece of his equipment is covered, so you want to watch those videos. But if you want to learn how to do lost wax casting, I teach that, and I teach silversmithing as well. I teach anything and everything related to jewelry. I do the stone cutting. I made that nice turquoise there, for this pendant. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of good secrets. I'd love to share them with you. I've been doing. There's a ring I made, real nice silver cross ring I made. But yeah, so now if you would subscribe, that would be great. I'd love to have you. But if you'll just do me one favor. When you subscribe, if you'll just go right there to the comments box right there, and if you'll just write me a comment and put in the comment, I subscribed. If you just do that one thing for me, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that, because that would really help me out, and it'll help me grow this channel to where I can keep, making videos, because I got, quite a few subscribers now that are really, they're counting on me to make videos, and I want to keep making videos. So because I love sharing my knowledge and helping people learn this. But yeah, so it's been really nice spending the time with you. My name's Steve, and I'll talk to you in the next video.